Nityanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gaganashadasham Tattvamasya Rilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami. Nityanandam. Hi, this is Ma Nitya Ovyananda. Today I'm here to give another question to the Living Enlightenment book, the Jivan Mukti book. I have sitting here behind me through the month of March. It's the anniversary of this book being released in 2009, March 3rd. This amazing book is a deity, actually. It has been energized, blessed by Swamiji, and the very pages themselves. It is like a living Devi, a living goddess. So anything you ask this book, you will get an answer. So today I thought of, what can I ask? So I thought, a lot of people say, why did you, saying to me, Ma Ovya, why did you take Sanyas? Why did you leave everything and go to the ashram? So I thought I'm asking this book to answer that. So we'll see now. So I can just have an example to show you. So why did I decide to leave everything and come be with Swamiji and take sannyas? Okay, so I'm going to just close my eyes and pick any page, open it up, and boom. It says here, let go of the body-mind identity. So we're going to see what this says today regarding this question. Please first understand that the thought that you are the body itself is an illusion. That is the first thought shaft that you create and suffer with as a result. If you start experiencing the truth that by your very nature you are illogical, irresponsible, independent, unconnected, and unclutched, you will start creating a new, alive, and fresh body. We abuse and disrespect our bodies in order to satisfy our ego. The moment we start to realize that we are not the body, we allow the body to function naturally. By its very nature, the body heals itself. The body has its own intelligence. However, you have lost connection with that wonderful intelligence. You constantly abuse and torture your body. The moment you start thinking, I am the body, you start abusing the body. You do so many things to satisfy the mind that by their nature, abuse the body. If you can relax from the idea that you are the body, you will start to respect the body. You will make decisions that allow the body intelligence to function beautifully. You will allow the body to live naturally. You will be alive, bubbling, and overflowing with energy. The moment you start understanding that you are not the mind, you will have sharp intelligence and spontaneity. See, there's some more things I can read here, which I will. But the click I'm getting from this is, actually, that is true. Because before I met Swamiji, I was abusing my body. I thought, before I even met Swamiji, that, all you have in life is what's here. You should buy a house, because that's what I kept telling. You should have a job, you should make money. And then, getting into kind of a low mood, because I think I always felt somehow something was missing. And maybe dwelling on past events, past traumas that happened. I was a big partier. I mean, I abused my body. Let's just be straight. I abused my body at that time. There was a period of at least 10 years where my whole life revolved around, after going to work or school, it revolved around partying. Actually, maybe even more than 10 years. Imagine 10 years of that. And I used to smoke cigarettes, but I quit that like in 2008. 2008. So before I met Swamiji, like 2-3 years before I met Swamiji, I quit smoking. So that's one thing I did on my own. But it took me, I smoked for like a long time, nearly 20 years. So I tried quitting smoking on and off for maybe 10 years. And I don't know, finally I did it. But imagine what an abuse I did on my body. And then when I was in the mode of going out partying, I of course would smoke a lot, because at that time you can smoke still in establishments. and all my friends and I would go out and party, drink, smoke so many cigarettes, and then, we'd either before or after eat some awful food, like either burgers, cheeseburgers, or pizza. That was like the main thing. Or if it was late night, like 3, 4 in the morning, when we were finished finally, sometimes we go to some diner and get some like omelet with, some potatoes and toast or pancakes or, some big old breakfast thing, and just gorge ourselves on this food and then go pass out. What a life. God. And then if it was on a work night, the next morning I would get to work somehow, I would manage. And then I would go to McDonald's and I would get, this is my staple, the number one, I still remember somehow, which is an Egg McMuffin, a hash brown, and I would get a large Coke. This is what my breakfast was. Every day almost. How awful that was. So then, my whole life I was thin and very much in great shape. But then towards a few years before I met Swamiji, I really got fat. And I was never fat. I was always thin. I was always around like 120, 125, less than 130. But then at that time, like around 2009, 2010, I was like 150. And for me, it was like all of a sudden like a wake-up call. Like, what the hell am I doing? Okay? So I was totally abusing my body in so many different ways. I was still an active person. I would still go out and do all my excursions with the biking and hiking and camping, and I'd still try to go jogging a few times a week. And I was physically active, with the house and, just keeping things clean and whatever else. And then when I got the house, doing all the like repairs and gardening. So those things I kept up, it kept me probably a little bit more in shape at least, but I was fat. And because I was just having this horrible lifestyle. And I started to get to my low time. At that time, it was like 2010. And that year, actually, in 2010, I went to one thing at a cafe. My friends hosted a little meditation. And it was one of Swamiji's meditations. Because they already met Swamiji in 2009, but I didn't care because I was partying. I was abusing my body and enjoying it. And I went to this meditation, and I definitely can say I felt something moving inside me. But I was like, I don't care. I was imagining things. I thought I was imagining things, and I didn't want to deal with it. And I just wanted to stay in my own little hell that I was in. So, and I continued to abuse my body. So then anyway, I had enough by the end of that year. And that was a turning point for me by the end of 2010. But by then that year, something started to happen. I decided that year, I remember it was around the holidays. I also used to be a marijuana smoker. So I decided around the holidays, I need to start doing something with my life, and I actually prayed, like, for the first time. I cried to the universe. I'm like, hello, you need to help me now. That was like October, November. And then I really was like, I had enough. Then in December, I decided, then I'm not smoking this pot anymore either because, I use it as an excuse because when I quit smoking, like I had to have something. Is what my excuse was because I couldn't drink. So for like a little while, like first year I quit smoking, I didn't drink so much at all. But I smoked pot because I had to have, do you see how that works? I was justifying it because I had to quit those cigarettes, which I at least did, but then I picked up something else. Anyhow, but then I decided that December, I think it was Christmas Eve, was the last time I smoked. And I said, I'm not doing this anymore. I need to go for a new job. I hated my job that I had for like 7, 8 years in sales. I was not happy with that lifestyle, life there, that whole corporate world. I never liked it, but I was just stuck. But I decided then, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm going to go for a job, so I'm going to clean myself up with that at least. So then the New Year's came around, and I didn't go out partying like I normally do. I stayed with my buddies in the house. And we actually listened to Swamiji, or we talked about how we were going to improve in our new year. And I actually started to do something about it. And then everything happened so quickly. All of a sudden, Swamiji was like, finally, boom. And then I went to my first program after a month. And then I started watching satsang before that. And then, within 6, 8 months, I was in Swamiji's house doing the inner awakening. So do you see, once you say yes to the cosmos, and you decide to take that little step and make that change, boom, it all happens. So it's all up to you. It's up to us to make the decision. Hey, I want to do something about my life and I'm serious this time. I want to make that change. So I'm digressing from this, but it brought up that thing. So I want you to know that don't worry, whatever's going on in your life now. Don't beat yourself up about it. But if you're ready for a change, just make the declaration and do it, because it's possible. Look at me. I mean, I used to go to like so many baseball games, the Chicago Cubs, and I had to have beer when I'm there. Everything I had to have beer. What a loser. I feel like, God, I missed so many things in life, But I don't know. It was just the way it was, and it had to pan out that way, because everything that happened in my life led me here. So for whatever reason, I don't know if it was tapas or doing what, it was something. But whatever it was, it led me to Swamiji, and it led me to this point in my life where I can talk to you about it and hopefully inspire you to do something with your life. Do something to not abuse yourself or your body anymore, but to be healthy and understand a little bit more and more about, the cosmos and how things work, or how you work, or connect to yourself. Whatever little things you can do, little, big, small, whatever, it's great. Any step you can take is great. So this chapter, this little section, inspired that story to come out. So I'll just finish it off here. The first thing to do is understand that you're not this body and mind. When you fully understand that you are not this body and mind, you will start respecting both. You start living with and not against your body and mind. You no longer abuse your body or disrespect its intelligence. You let your body live naturally and blissfully. Ashtavakra says, you are not the body, you are not the mind, you are not the earth, you are not the water, you are not the fire, you are not the air, you are not the ether. If you detach from the body and rest in intelligence, you will be happy, peaceful, and free from bondage. So, there you have it. So what I'm saying is, this book is great. You should consider downloading this book. I urge you to download the book. I know that our Bangalore Adinam is getting some printed. So soon you'll be able to request your own copy of the hardcover book, which is the best. But in the meantime, you can start reading the book, asking questions, and seeing where you end up. Because each section Swamiji gives is an insight into your life. And if you start to make those clicks, see, you might think that what I asked about sannyas or whatnot doesn't have anything to do with what I just read you, but it does. Because as a sannyasi, you're dropping those identities. And all the way I was abusing my body at that time, I was actually wanting to, I actually wanted to deeply connect with something. I felt that a deep connection in my heart had to happen. And even now that's unfolding. And it couldn't have happened any other way. I think maybe I would have improved because I had great friends around me. Not the drinking ones, but I had some other really awesome friends, and they always were with me and encouraging me. And but I still feel that I know I couldn't have done it without Swamiji. Sure, I would have maybe improved certain things, but how many years would it have taken? Because I needed a lot of work, I felt. But a lot of work, meaning getting into the larger context of life and what is the life's purpose that you have. So not just simply feeling better, getting healing, but what is the ultimate purpose of life itself? What does the cosmos actually want from a human being, or what are we doing here? Only these questions could be answered by some really amazing being like Swamiji, and him working with us to get to the point. What is the point of our life? And sannyas is definitely the quick road to expansion, to discovering who we are, dropping the identities, and connecting with the source, with the cosmos. So I'm very much forever grateful and always in gratitude to Swamiji, and thankful for him and for the path that I've chosen. So that's all I have for now. So again, quit abusing yourself. Do something for you. Don't forget you. and connect with that. And get the book and start asking your questions and get your own answers. Thanks again for watching. Nityananda.